Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I present to you Script Zero. Yay! Hopefully, I won't be doing one of these locked up. Because that's how I feel with dealing with these giants. They're gonna get me. They're gonna get me locked up. Because they're gonna have me lose my dang on mind. And then I'll actually have to testify in front of an actual jury. That would just be like, how the heck did I get myself in this situation? But that's that's a different story. I'll be okay. Eventually, I'll be all right. I'll step away from it. I'll do some stuff today. So hopefully it'll it's not to the point where I'm not gonna live my life, but hopefully it won't be weighing on my mind. And someone bring it out just to be like, I don't want to be in a bad mood today. It's Friday. I got the day off. I want to enjoy my life. I want to just be. I just want to partake in what the world has to give. Being that as it may, there's some people who may not want that. And to them, I say I really don't care. Because this is the kind of person I am. If I rub you the wrong way, if you feel that I'm not to be around, I'll apologize that oh, no, no, I'm never gonna put out an apology for that because I'm not gonna give you a false apology and say that I'm sorry that you couldn't get something out of it, and I'm not being disrespectful. I'm not being rude. Or some people it is rude, but I sound like a personal problem at that point. You gotta not everything. I said it in a previous video. Not everyone. A person shouldn't be for everyone. I'm not gonna be for everyone. I really don't care because I see some of the nonsense people be talking about now. They're going on different platforms and just being flat out rude and disrespectful. Like people have, I see, and this ain't nothing new, but people have a lack of awareness as far as where they're at and when they're at that location. And then they jump out the window, go left or say something sideways, and then end up wondering. And then it's like they play the victim, or it's how like why are you so upset? Like because you chose to go left when you had no business going left. You made a choice that really you're you're instigating or just creating something that doesn't have to be. And listen, I'm not gonna lie. I love creating mayhem and havoc as much as the next person within reason. Because a lot of people would be like, well, no, I'm nothing serious, just joshing around and that kind of thing. But there are times where you got to know where you're at, like, and what the situation is. Sometimes there'll be times that we can be silly, and there's times that, and I'm not saying it's silly to the point where you're just doing something completely stupid you have no business doing. Because I think there are levels to some of these things, but you gotta understand that we can't. That no, not we, but silliness in moderation, knowing to if you just want to be a troll, I mean you can do that. Just know that that's the only purpose you have. I want no parts of it. I got no patience for it. Now we can talk smack and and go back and forth, and we can be cool afterward. I understand that, but it's knowing time and place, being aware of those your surroundings in that regard, and some people just have no feel for that. You also have to understand who you're dealing with, and and try to understand things from. Well, you don't have to, but I think it's prudent that you do take note of who you're around and understand their perspective, and so that way you don't get worked up for no reason. You got when you understand the people you're dealing with, it's a lot simpler. It's not necessarily easy, but it's a much simpler process to do things that you do, to make it whatever adjustments you gotta make to get through. Not just to go along to get along, but actually realizing, okay, this person does things this way, that person does things that way, and I can deal with both of them. I just gotta, and you can still be yourself and just handle it in two different manners. But that's not something everyone can do. Some people, they're just who they are, and that's fine as well. Like, I got a friend who, I got some friends who definitely rub people the wrong way. I know people who, because of how blunt they are and their and their secureness in themselves, they carry themselves in a very particular manner, and some people really they don't like it. Some people don't understand it. I understand how it gets misinterpreted, but for me, like, I got no problem with it. In fact, I'll make it worse because I see them say something. For some people, you think it's they get mocked, or, like you're mocking them or making fun of them or whatever. For me, I just look at it like, no, this is who they are, and what they're doing is just highlighting things that happen with them, and because they have a, for lack of a better term, I don't give a fuck kind of vibe. That works perfectly for me because now I'm just gonna make it worse. I'm just gonna be like, hey, that's like, damn, pain everywhere. You barely gotta go day by day, just dragging along. It's all a normal day for you. That's the kind of person I am. Like, I've been told I state the obvious, which is true. I understand how they come to that, but but there's certain ways I go about that. I'm like, I'll say it. I'll say it very lightly because I understand what it is with them, and some people wouldn't probably that probably annoy people as well. But oh well, it's not like you problem at that point. And if you actually got a problem with it, you can say, hey, like, you ask what you mean, or be like, hey, I didn't like that. Like, actually explain yourself, and if it's something that you address to me, and I can actually say, all right, I see where that went, then bring that up. I got no problem holding off on that. But like the saying, closed mouths don't get fed. Closed mouths don't get fed. If you don't say nothing, and if you don't say nothing, how am I supposed to know? Like, yeah, there's also the body language thing, but sometimes you actually gotta say something because your body language might not even. Some people, you can't really get anything from just their body language. They actually have to articulate themselves. They gotta voice out what's going on. Otherwise, you don't know. And And I know some people don't really get that from me. I gotta voice out things that I see. Otherwise, ain't no one really looking, and that's fine. Like that's something I gotta work on. But if but there's certain times where to be mindful of being sensitive, and then there's certain times like, man, I ain't got no time for all this sensitive nonsense. That's why it's why certain things I had to rearrange. I had to rearrange in my life. At one point, I was going way too much off of emotion. I was getting like something I didn't like to hear or whatever, or something, anything to that effect. I would just get all bent out of shape. I'd I'd let that sensitivity get to me, and and earlier this year, I actually got to a point where I understood. I realized I like, nah, this ain't gonna work because I'm not in a good space spiritually, mentally, and it's going to affect me physically. Like at some point, it will ultimately affect you physically. So it's like, you know what? Bump this. We ain't even gonna, man. I'm not gonna continue living like this because I'm just going to run myself into oblivion, and I refuse to run myself into oblivion. So I had to cut certain people out of my life. I had to reevaluate certain things and really be like, all right, nah, I was being a bitch. I was I was being a hoe, and I let this situation. I was letting the situation dictate who I was, and that's not acceptable, and I couldn't let that continue. So instead of continuing on that path, I'm like, I reset. Wasn't really anything big. I got some information. I did some reading. Um, I I need to get man. There's a friend I gotta get back to. I haven't talked to him in a while, but I gotta talk to him because like his influence. He's been a big brother to me, and his influence actually helped me get out of that matrix I was in. And I got work to do. Like there's always work to do, but I do appreciate him. Um, both of them because like both of them are friends of mine, brothers, and honestly, they've been having both of them in my life has really gotten me to this point, amongst other things, of course. But I don't get to this point without those two guys. And to my brothers, I appreciate you guys, and to the people to a lot of the new people I got to interact with this year, and like especially now, Jose, Chris Cervantes, Uncle Frank, um, HD, of course, Nicholas, uh, Nicholas Jacobs, I got and seeing Carcino for life and Kwame Brown, Gravity Takeout, and several others. Actually having those influences, learning from them, how they carry themselves, seeing things I was doing, things I am doing that I'm doing, things I kind of gotta maneuver, I gotta adjust. Some I just gotta cut out altogether. And that's the thing. Like I realized this in myself, and then I get to thinking, well, if I if these are things I had to deal with the amount of people in this world, I'm confident that someone else had to deal with that. That someone else has had the type of feelings and thoughts I've had, and that for some of it was self-inflicted because there are people that were around that I didn't really utilize, that I did take for granted, and not really understanding. Oh wait, no, these guys are really here. They can help me. They have been helping me, and then seeing and looking up other information is like there's a lot to get out of a lot of things. And I know I might be rambling. I apologize, but I don't come here with no script. I have a general idea of where I want to go, and then I just wherever my mind takes me, wherever my senses take me from there is where I go. I try to convey that the emotions and the thoughts that I go through with these situations and try to put it out there because maybe someone else is going through that and and what they needed is someone who can actually who could articulate this. It's not perfect, but they could actually see, oh wait, this guy is going through X, Y, and Z. I can help. I got people in my life that can help me out. There's things I'm actually doing, and maybe it just clicks in their head. And it's like, all right, no, this is how I need to start moving, and not fall into some of the pitfalls I fell into. Because that's really what it comes down to. You like I fell into certain things that if I had if I knew then if I knew now what I if I knew what I know now at that time, I I'm confident I would not have fall into those pitfalls. But it didn't happen. I got to this like it happened. It is what it is, and you know, I'm as bad as it was and whatnot. It's well, I needed those things to happen. I needed those things to happen so I could get to that point. I could get to this point in my life, and you know, I just want to continue going forward. That's why you got to educate yourself. You have to educate yourself. You have to find um, you gotta find balance within yourself, and balance isn't necessarily all right. Like equal percentages of this that. It's understanding who you are and who you are as a person, things that work for you. There are things that you don't want to do necessarily that you have to do, and understanding. All right, this is it's life. This is what I gotta put forth. These are things that are good for me. Having some of that, and you gotta understand what combination is best for you because that's it's one of those things that's it's not a one size fits all. What has me balanced, what keeps me centered, isn't going to be the same thing as what keeps person A or person B centered, and that's why you have to get the life experience. You have to go through these things. You have to gain the knowledge as well, and it's and you want to have the spiritual balance, and then you want to have the knowledge to go with it because once you have those two things, like once you can actually function and for yourself with having the knowledge and being centered, you'll and because things happen, but you'll be all right. You can you can move forward. You're like because then obviously you do need money in the world we live in to get through. But you'll be able. But when money comes and goes, you can if you have skills and you understand what they are and how to utilize them, you'll be able to work that out. Especially if you got people around you who if your family is solid and all that good stuff. I'm not gonna get too into that. That's for another video as far as family and because I have my thoughts on that too. It but yeah, center yourself, equip yourself with the knowledge, equip yourself with the experience because sometimes there's really the best way to go about things is just to experience it. Just go and live life. And to me, that's what it's about. I think that's really about all I have. Because anything else beyond this is just going to be me rambling. So, whatever you believe in, whatever whatever makes you get to that place of wholeness. I'd say happiness, but happiness is an emotion. It comes and goes. I'm not pursue me personally. I don't pursue to be happy, but I'm pursuing wholeness. I want to find. I want to be whole in spiritually. I want to be able to say I can experience all my emotions and I can not let one emotion, particular emotion, overcome another. Like get beyond one emotion doesn't get to become too great. Where once I once I start experiencing another emotion, I go far to another dynamic and just so I don't get too happy and I don't get too sad. That these are things that happen. I got upset, all right, and then I get over it. And then you learn from it. So that's what I got. Um, 2 videos today. I'm honestly surprised. I didn't think I'd pull off 2. I may do a third. Let's see what sports stuff is going on. Maybe there's something in the news I see that I might want to discuss. But so right now, that's it. Appreciate everyone who watches. You know, appreciate all the people who supported me. You know, some of the guys, I mentioned a few guys. I didn't even mention everyone. That just really influenced me. But everyone, a lot of the people who I've subscribed to this year, if I've actually had if I've actually gotten to talk to you vocally, I definitely want to say that I thank you because you've helped me grow, and I hope you got something out of talking to me as well. If you didn't, I do apologize because I don't want to just come in and not be able to contribute in any kind of way. Beyond that, it is what it is. But that's what I'm aiming for. I'm aiming for spiritual wholeness. I would once I could keep a roof over my head and over my family's head, I'm straight. I'm really straight after that because I can always sort out X, Y, or Z afterward. I still don't know where I want to go in this world as far as a particular path, career path, or whatever. Oh, cool. All right. And yeah, but yeah, that's why we go forward. And I might, I think at some point I'm gonna start carrying some of the stuff I've learned from games. Oh, take some of those lessons, actually explain to you things I've gone over with that. But that's for another video. Appreciate everyone checking this out. Like, comment, subscribe, share the videos. If you do want to donate, I do have a Cash App. It's Scrub Zero, just like my username on YouTube. So if you want to, you feel free to do so. I'll try to leave a link in the description box. I'm still learning how to do a lot of this stuff, but that's why we continue going on. We'll get better. My editing skills is not anywhere near the top notch. I can piece together a few things, but that's for another time. But yeah, all I got on this one. And hope everyone's having a good day. I hope things are going well. If they're not, I pray that they get better. Just continue grinding on. And until next time, Scrub Zero, catch you on the flip side.